Embrace and love the persecuted. Powerful truths. Imagine standing in a storm, battered by rain and wind, yet holding firm because you know you're standing for something right, something true. Now imagine people throwing stones, not real ones, thankfully, but words, judgments, and rejections, all because you dared to believe in justice and goodness. Why should anyone face this kind of battle alone? The answer is simple: they shouldn't. And that's where love steps in, like an umbrella in the downpour, offering shelter and strength. Let's talk about the unsung heroes, the ones who take a stand for righteousness, even when the crowd tells them to sit down. They fight for what's fair, they speak for those without a voice, and often, they pay the price. Why should you care? Because their struggle isn't just theirs, it's ours too. It's about building a world where integrity matters, and love becomes the loudest voice in the room. Stick around, and we'll uncover why these brave souls deserve our love and support. We all admire people with a moral compass that points unwaveringly to what's right. We want to be like them, don't we? We crave the courage to do what's just, even when it's hard. Deep down, we know the world needs more people willing to sacrifice for the sake of fairness, kindness, and truth. But let's be honest, standing up can be lonely. That's where we come in, with the power of love to remind these modern-day warriors that they're not fighting alone. But here's the catch: loving those who are persecuted isn't always easy. They're often misunderstood, even labeled as troublemakers. Society likes its comfort zones, and these individuals? They shake the status quo like a snow globe. Loving them means stepping out of your own comfort bubble, choosing to be the person who says, "I see you, and I stand with you." It's risky. It's vulnerable. But it's also life-changing, for you and for them. Let's dive into a story. Picture Maria, a school teacher in a small town. When she discovered unfair practices in how students were graded, she spoke up. The result? She became the villain in her own staff room. Colleagues whispered behind her back, parents questioned her intentions, and friends grew distant, unsure if they wanted to get involved. Despite the isolation, Maria didn't back down. She knew what was at stake: the integrity of her students' futures. But then something remarkable happened. A few parents and students began to rally around her. They wrote letters, attended school meetings, and even brought her flowers as a token of appreciation. Their love transformed her fight from a lonely battle into a movement. Maria didn't just survive the storm, she thrived because others showed her that her courage mattered. Here's why this matters: the people who stand up for righteousness are the architects of a better world. They challenge corruption, expose injustice, and remind us that morality still has a pulse. But they're human too. Without love and support, even the strongest can falter. Love is the fuel that keeps their fire burning. It's the glue that holds their resolve together when the world tries to tear them apart. And honestly, don't we all need that kind of love? Today, it's Maria in the spotlight, but tomorrow, it could be you or someone you care about. Loving those who are persecuted for righteousness creates a ripple effect, building a community where standing up for good is celebrated, not condemned. So, how do we spread that love? It's simpler than you think. Start small. Send a message of encouragement. Something as simple as "I see what you're doing, and it's incredible" can work wonders. Next, show up. Whether it's attending a rally, signing a petition, or just listening over coffee, your presence speaks volumes. And if you're feeling extra bold, use your own voice to amplify theirs. Share their story. Be their cheerleader. And humor? Oh, it's a secret weapon. Nothing diffuses tension like a well-placed joke. Imagine saying, "Well, if standing up for what's right makes you a rebel, then let's get matching leather jackets." It reminds them, and you, that courage doesn't have to be grim. It can be hopeful, even joyful. Let's make loving those who are persecuted for righteousness a habit. A daily choice. Think of it as your superpower, the ability to make someone feel seen, valued, and supported when the world tries to ignore them. This isn't just about them, it's about us. It's about creating a culture where bravery and goodness are the gold standard. Where love wins, every time. Here's the thing: history remembers the righteous, but it celebrates those who love them through the struggle. So be the person who shows up. Be the voice that says, "Keep going, you're not alone." Because in a world obsessed with tearing people down, choosing to lift someone up is the most radical act of all. Thank you for helping us spread love.